Justice Sonia Sotomayor said, "Up yours" to New York City workers who asked for a temporary halt on the city's vaccine mandate while waiting for a lower court ruling. And they wonder why New Yorkers are fleeing the state in droves. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. On Thursday, New York City workers who are fighting the city's vaccine mandate, can you believe that that thing is still around? Anyway, the city workers asked Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor to temporarily halt the mandate's enforcement while they awaited the outcome of a lower court's ruling on whether the mandate violated their rights on religious grounds. Of course it violated their rights on religious grounds if they filed a religious exemption. Now, John Bursch, he's the attorney who represents the workers, told Fox, "We're disappointed that Justice Sotomayor is willing to allow New York City's rampant religious discrimination to continue. I'll bet." Numerous frontline employees, including police, teachers, sanitation workers, and firefighters, asked for religious exemptions from New York City's COVID requirement. After that, many of them were let go for disobeying. Folks, it's impossible for me to believe that New Yorkers just keep electing these Democrat politicians who put the mandate in place and who are keeping it in place. Folks, it's November 2022. As for New York officials denying religious exemptions, that is a violation of their First Amendment rights. Look, being a heathen atheist does not mean that you have the right to violate the U.S. Constitution, let alone the very First Amendment in the Bill of Rights. You don't have to like the fact that people believe in God or that people have a First Amendment right to religion, okay? But at the same time, you don't have the right to deny people their religious rights. Not in this country. Well, at least not until 5 minutes ago, right? In a Supreme Court filing last week, the group represented by attorneys from the Alliance Defending Freedom argued that the city had restricted their ability to freely practice their faith by making them choose between getting vaccinated with experimental medicine or losing their jobs. So in order to give their case time to be heard by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, which could take months and months, they asked Sotomayor, who is the justice in charge of the New York City area, to temporarily halt the mandate, which they oppose out of sincere religious beliefs. Sotomayor rejected their request and gave no further comments. Now, some justices do not give further comments because they don't have to. All right, but in a decision like that, you would think she would give a comment because she just allowed a tyrannical government to force people to take experimental medicine or lose their livelihood. Folks, this is real tyranny here that we're talking about. And I thought we got through all this. So Burr said of the workers that they are suffering from the loss of First Amendment rights, are facing deadlines to move out of homes and foreclosure, or with past due rents. They're suffering health problems due to loss of their city health insurance and the stress of having no regular income and resorting to food stamps and Medicaid just to keep their families afloat. Folks, this is what the Democrats want. They know this is happening. They don't care. This is what they want. They want that power. They want that control over your life. He continues, as we write in our emergency application for stay, these city heroes, and they were heroes during the pandemic, and all of a sudden now they're reprobates, right? As we write in our emergency application for stay, these city heroes have dedicated their lives to serving their neighbors and keeping their city running safely and efficiently. Yet New York City officials suspended and fired them because they cannot take the COVID-19 vaccine without violating their sincere religious beliefs. Now, you can thank Barack Obama for this. You know, the guy who the Democrats still consider a rock star and still think he shits ice cream and rainbows. He put Sotomayor on the court. Now, as I understand it, okay, and I've heard this from people on both sides of the aisle, from all sides really, that Sonia Sotomayor is one of the nicest, most lovely people you would ever meet in person, and she's not a phony about it. She's like a real sweetheart, is from what I hear. In fact, I'd like to meet her, okay, because I hear she's really great, okay? But she's an awful Supreme Court justice. She always rules with the other leftists on the court, which is to say that they rule against the Constitution and against the United States whenever possible. Just look at their voting pattern. Okay? The brief filed by Burse said, quote, the city never justified why an unvaccinated stripper can spend hours in close proximity to customers in an indoor venue, while a city sanitation worker cannot pick up refuse outside with virtually no person-to-person contact absent a vaccination that violates his religious convictions. Now, that's a hell of an argument, folks. Yet Sotomayor said, nope, you got to wait. Got to wait for the court ruling down below. She could have given them relief. At this point, it's November in 2022, folks. The pandemic is over. Even though the Biden administration just extended the public health emergency for COVID yet another 90 days, this is the 12th time they've done it since January 2020. We all know that it's for political reasons. But in New York City, they are doing it to show government control over your life. These are just awful people who run the city and the state government as well there. You can't convince me that the people of New York voted for this. You can't. Now, maybe there's some whack jobs there who go, yeah, I love the fact that we're going to force them to get back. I mean, come on. All right. At this point, I would say that these people, these poor city workers, that their only remedy is to get the hell out of New York. Go to Florida like the rest of them. You have real freedom down there. I mean, if that's what you need is your freedom back, then just get out of New York. The blue states like New York and Illinois and California, they're losing seats in Congress. They're losing electoral seats as well, okay, because so many people are fleeing. They just can't take it anymore. All right, I'm going to put the link to this story down in the description, and please visit rpwmedia.com and read all of our stories. It helps. So that's it. Thanks for being with us, and we will see you in the next one.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?